Number 6 was, do you get your own space, room? You covered that, kind of ish. You said the bunk.
Um,
How many
well,
people
yeah.
per room?
Well, pretty much when you get a room, it's your standard room. It's got a closet. Sometimes they have shelving units and all that good stuff. Some of them are very minimalist, and it's just beds and closet. Like, just that's it. Like if you took all the stuff out your room and you put 2 bunk beds in there, that's pretty much it. For that, it's depending on how you break up your space and how the bunk beds are actually set up, because some of them are like the fancy cool IKEA ones would have like 7 shelves underneath them, and you're like, all right, cool, like there's 2 people in this bunk bed, like you get these shelves, you get these shelves, easy peasy, just break it up. And plus you have spaces in the room where you can put your stuff, so you kind of get your own little corner and just work with that.
Probably just need a
Other
space
one,
for your suitcase, and that's it.
pretty much, yeah, because I mean you're not really going there with that much stuff, or at least
Some people.
it's not recommended. Well, some people travel with everything. I mean, I did that when I went to Boston just because that was going to be the move, because I was getting ready to look for apartments, and then like unexpected circumstance of having 2 niece nephews, whatever they are, because we don't know yet. That kind of happens, and I'm like, oh well, I guess I don't need all my stuff with me, so I just brought it on home.
Makes sense. And let's jump into the next question. Do you think it would be best to rent a crash pad or rent an apartment with friends right off the bat?
This is a tough one, just because I mean, despite us not even finishing our first year and I'm already looking for an apartment, the best way I can describe it is this: if you're new to the industry entirely, if this is your first airline, your first time being in flight, or your first time going to a new city, highly recommend doing a crash pad for at least 3 months, 6 months tops. Because, for example, when, at least I'm sure it's industry wide, but for us at JetBlue, when you're on your 6 months, you're pretty much on your probationary period, and you're not exactly going anywhere all that much entirely. So, just to play it safe for 6 months, I would suggest, in my honest opinion, doing a crash pad, unless, for example, you're like Chris and you're able to like stay at like a family house, or if you already own one, then obviously each person's situation is different. But if you're new to the industry and new to a city, it's a cool, cheap way to explore it and get used to everything, and also try it out. Because, say, for example, you go to New York City and you're like, all right, cool, I'm so hyped, I've never been to like the city before, and you're like, oh wow, I'm not a New York City person, and you're like, I got to get out of here. It's easier to, those 6 months, you'll find out whether you like it, if you want to stay, and if you want to find a new spot. Plus, it also gives you more time to look for an apartment, because when you're out of training, it's like, all right, cool, you got like 5 weeks, or not 5 weeks, you got like 2 weeks to look for a place. Go. Good luck finding a lease that's in those like 2 weeks. So it's kind of smarter to start off with a crash pad, unless in your circumstances you already have your own place, your own apartment, or spouse's apartment, spouse house, whatever you guys have. It's, each person's different, but I highly recommend, if you're new, going with a crash pad, then apartment,
Yeah,
because
I
I'm in
get
that transitionary period right now.
really comes down to, I guess, finances as well, and then you don't even know,
Oh,
like you said,
absolutely.
if you're gonna like the base city. So like you liked Boston, but you felt a better suit in New York because of family and
Yeah.
other circumstances. So yeah, definitely start off with a crash pad if you have to, or in my circumstances, stay at your parents' house, save
Yeah.
money. So can't beat that. All right, so number 7, or no, number 8. We're number 8. So
Hey.
we're getting into kind of like your overall impression of the job so far, and what do you love most about it, and then kind of talk about one of your favorite layover cities.
All right. Well, starting over with the job, being completely realistic with this, I love the job itself. The moment I'm at the airport, the moment I'm on the plane, I am stoked. I'm happy. I find it relaxing, and the most peaceful thing is looking out the window when we're up in the air. I find it the coolest thing. Like, sure, I'll be walking to the cabin and I look out the window, I'm like, like, I'm calm. like all those troubles that you had, they're literally like 36,000 feet beneath you. You get a couple hours to just be away from everything and just hang out in your own zone with a bunch of people that you get to talk to and meet. So that's the coolest thing.
Like you're your own boss, basically.
Yeah,
That's how
you have your freedom. It's nice. Not many jobs entrust you to have your own freedom.
yeah, it's true, especially in 36,000 feet in the air.
Right. But now going back to the other side of it, as much as I love the job itself, the moment you're on the home reserve and the other side of it, the moment I'm not in the airport, I'm kind of, it's not exactly my most happy feeling being on call for hours. I get that it's necessary and it's part of the job. I completely get that because, everyone starts at the bottom. It's not like I did something wrong or you did something wrong. It's no, everyone starts at the bottom. Like you're a pledge before you're a brother. You're a fuzzy before you're a corporal. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's every industry or everything in the world starts off that way. You got to pay your dues. Easy
Unless you're
peasy.
like Tom Brady's kids or Donald Trump's kids, it's like if you're
Yeah.
born into a rich family, then you don't have to really start at the bottom. But
But
99%
still,
of people have to.
yeah. But other than that, though, it's one of those things where it does get old hearing. It gets better, but it's one of those things that enough people you see who've been there for 2 years or a year or whatever however long they've been here. It's one of those things where you go, all right, cool. Like I see where I'm at now. They're there. They've only been here for just a little bit longer than me. It's sure it might be rough. I mean, some people take it better than others. Some people drop off and don't make it to the end. Some people power through it. It's just realize that it's necessary. It's what you have to do, whether or not you like that. It's the here to put it very simply, the good clearly outweighs the bad tenfold because you have your awesome days where you get to travel and for sometimes you go to a city you never even thought you'd want to go to. You get to see people that you never thought you'd ever get to meet. I mean, sure, not every flight has like a superstar in that because only twice I've heard people see like a famous person. I've never personally seen one, but it's kind of cool. But
I did actually yesterday, 2 days ago. Actually, if you don't, I don't know if you probably don't know much about the Patriots, but one of their star outside linebackers that retired a couple years ago was on our flight. He was flying from Atlanta back to Boston. He just did he's going to be doing the post and pregame show for the Patriots.
oh, nice.
Rob Ninkovich, and it was his birthday, so we got to
Oh,
give him a nice card, give him a card and stuff, and it's kind of cool. Cool to meet him. Really, really nice guy, really chill. So that was my first experience.
And even if they aren't someone of high notoriety, it's kind of cool that you get to meet so many new people. And a lot of times, like they could be like the coolest person you ever met. Like I've literally met someone watching Game of Thrones on their iPad. Like, and I was just like, oh, like you're saying that Shanley's watching the Battle of the Bastards episode.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
watching one that was like a little bit before that, and I'm like, yo, so what do you think about this final season? What do you think is gonna happen? And like we were talking about Thrones for like half the flight. And it was like one of the coolest things because then it's like, oh, like I got to bond with that person. I'm a people person. I like this. So
That happened to me too. We were flying to Jacksonville, and I met a couple that was going down there to research like apartments to live in, and I lived there for 7 years. So I gave them like a list of apartments. I gave them a rundown of the city, like a list of food places to go, and I ended up getting their numbers. And they said, "Hey, next time you guys are in Jacksonville, to me and Shanley, to meet up with them and text them, and we'll grab some drinks." So that was kind of cool. Like he's a business owner as well, and of real estate, so it worked out perfect. So
yeah,
saved.
you literally never know who you'll meet, and that's the coolest thing. So basically, if you've been paying attention to this, pretty much I've been saying a lot of great positive things that come from this, and so far the only negative things I have to say were ones that are temporary. Like I'm not gonna say that you won't have your bad days where I've been on a flight that's been IROPT or my flight's been canceled or I have a delay. It's those things are gonna happen whether or not you want them to, or whether or not, like for example, if you never had the job before, you probably experienced a delay. probably experience a cancellation. Those things happen whether you're working for the airline or whether you're not. Can't control them, so there's no sense to worry about it. But clearly you can tell that the good outweighs the bad because you get to meet awesome people, get to travel, you get to be your own boss, have some freedom. It's gonna sound cliche and it's gonna sound like, oh, everyone's gonna just say this because they're drinking the blue juice and stuff. It's no, just being realistic about this. It's being able to do something that not many people get the chance to. Like everyone goes, oh, I wish I traveled more, or I wish I did this, or experienced whatever. We're in a unique position where we actually get to do that, and it's kind of cool. Like, sure, I'm only like hanging out with you for maybe a 3-hour flight, but in those 3 hours, like, sure, you might only know me as Joe, but at some point, like, if you're on my flight again, I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, remember we were like talking about like it's a kind of cool thing to do because rarely does that happen in industry. So
100%.
uh, call me old fashioned, I like that stuff.
No, yeah, man. You said it perfect. Completely agree with you. And the whole connection thing is like the hugest, like the biggest part of the job. It's like you got to be a people person in order to like thrive in this job. And there are some people that have made it past the blue review, got a job, and I've worked with them. I'm like, how the hell do you have a job? It's like they're like the most angry people. I'm like
Some
complaining about
people
everything. I hate working with those people.
some people have those days though. That's just it.
Yeah, but
But
it's just like don't throw your negativity on me. You know, it's like they literally complain about from like the start to finish of the day, and the next day they complain, and it's just like
yeah, no, believe me, I got some stories about that. But at the same time, that's not the job itself. That's just some of the people there.
exactly.
Uh, Going to favorite layover city, despite being there before, because I've been there a couple times prior to being a flight attendant. DC is perhaps my most favorite of the ones I've been to. Um, One that I've never been to that I've learned to like is San Juan. Awesome layover, because I've never been to San Juan before, and also
Yeah,
like it's beautiful weather. It's
the
your
infinity.
typical beach place.
Yeah,
Um, but DC, obviously, I favorite one just because I love the history, love the architecture. Uh, it's that environment. So much history's happened there, and you just see all these awesome, iconic buildings. You see all these awesome memorials, and I'm a huge believer that we have a little. We need to show a little bit more of gratitude to people that came before, just because if it wasn't for people before me, a lot of this stuff wouldn't exactly be here, at least in my own life.
yeah,
And DC is a kind of that epicenter where you have a huge section of these great things that are testaments to people that came before. And you're like, I like to marvel in their greatness for a little bit because it's like, I'm humbled being here. It's cool.
yeah. No, DC is beautiful. You said you walked like how many miles when you were there?
Oh, yeah. Went there on the 4th of July, this past 4th of July, and for work, actually. And I walked, I think, 15 miles because I walked around the entire mall twice, the National Mall twice. Then I walked to the White House. I walked to a brewery. Then I walked to the Supreme Court. Like literally, just walked everywhere. My steps were on fire. It was awesome. Got sunburned and a little dehydrated, but I was able to go back to
Also the
being.
brewery, right? It was just the
Oh, it was just all the
over.
walking. Was able to go to the hotel, able to take a 45-minute nap, shower, and get ready for work. And everyone's like, what did you do? Oh, I slept inside, or oh, I ate ice cream or something. It's like, what did
What?
you do? And I was like, oh man, I did this, this, and this. Like I was rattling off, and they're like, how'd you do all that stuff? And I'm like, because I just went to town. That's all. Also, shout out to Chase because DC,
Yeah, yeah.
awesome place.
Chase. What's up, Chase? Mentor Chase.
Mentor Chase, how you doing, man? I need to try Compass, or was it Compass Coffee?
Oh yeah, Compass Coffee. Yeah.
That's the one thing I have yet to do on my list of things to do in DC.
I know I'm gonna start looking for some DC layovers next month, and then I think Fort Lauderdale. There's like a really nice hotel there.
It's a bummer though because I don't believe we fly there directly from JFK.
Really?
I haven't seen any trips, and maybe it's just because they're all taken or they're part of like a different pairing. Not exactly seeing them, and I'm kind of bummed about it because I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, I'm like obviously my favorite layover city, but that's my Boston layover city.
that's true.
It's a
But
bummer.
it'll pop up. You just gotta keep looking.
Worst case scenario, I'll just fly there on my day off and I'll just hang out. I'll make it happen.
That's the thing. I mean, I met somebody. I was working a flight to L.A. He flew out there for the day. He flew out there on the morning flight, and they said he was taking the red eye home. He's like, I just want to go out there and hang out for the day and just
That's
explore.
what that's literally what I've done once. I went to what's it? Went to Florida for a little bit, just hung out and came back.
What?
It, y- what else are you gonna do?
Sure, yeah. I mean,
I
that's
mean,
what the job's for.
the thing is, in my situation, it was I get to see friends from Florida when I lived there, and I used to work in Florida, so I, get to see some people for a few hours and then fly home. It gets me out of the crash pad, it gets me out of the state, and it gets me to see people. Like this job is awesome for connecting with people that like family, friends, or anyone. Like for example, we can literally fly to Chase and be like, "Yo, Chase, we're coming over." Like obviously a little more planning than that.
Yeah.
we,
With the
we
podcast.
can literally go out and see him on the other side of the country. Like that's so cool.
That'd be a cool like YouTube series to do a travel one. Like,
Adventure,
where am I traveling this week? And then like pick a trip and then travel for a day and then come back.
literally meet up and then bounce back. That'd be the
Yeah,
wave.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, man.
We are on the last question. You kind
All
of talked
right.
about this already, but go a little more in depth if you feel like it. But basically, tell them kind of like what you're working on the side, and talk about maybe how other people that are watching this can connect with you, and ask you some questions if they have to.
Awesome. Yeah, no. To reach out to me, my Instagram is 81 cups of Joe. Pretty much at the moment, that's my best way to get to me. I'm reworking Facebook because I went through a whole do I want to delete it, do I not want to? That's pretty much my way I can check in with my friends and family to make sure I'm alive and well, as well as show them where I've been. But I'm going to have one strictly for family and one strictly for business use. And my Instagram right now is my only avenue for that. So coming soon, believe me, you'll hear about it from me. Um, Other than that, though, what I'm working on the side is pretty much bringing what I believe is my purpose, but in a mindset to the world, and hopefully being able to help others. Because the thing is, I'm a firm believer that you should not stop learning, especially after college. Like, oh, hey, I'm in my job, I'm good. Or hey, like, I
That's
spent years of college and now I'm done. Like, it doesn't matter what field you're in. Like, believe me, I can understand that some people take a long time to finish their degrees because, like, what's it? My best friend has his doctorate in physical therapy. Like, that took a lot of schooling, and I'm not discrediting like that by no means. But at the same time, I got my degree in marketing, but so many things in life fascinate me. I want to learn as much as I can realistically and apply each thing into like a good way of living. That way it's, keep adapting, keep growing, and just keep trying to be a better you. And that's pretty much my plan is to help people find that spark and help people find how all these random pieces come together because, you know, it doesn't seem like a lot of things make sense at the time, but you have to step back and look at it and be like, all right, this is how it all works, and then go on to it.
Yeah, man. Definitely, and that's the problem with most people. I'd have to say is, I don't want to like call anybody out or anything, but they settle. They kind of like
Yeah,
they get to where they want to be. Like you said, graduate college, and then they're like, I'm done. I got my job, and then it just
yeah,
feels like a coastal retirement. It's just like if that's what you want, then that's cool. But there's so much more out there to explore and learn about. So it's
yeah,
pretty awesome that you're doing that.
yeah, man. I mean, I want to be either a I want to be the window to the world that you guys can experience through, or I want to be able to bring my thoughts that I'm also open to other people's thoughts as well. It's just as I'm going through this journey, I want to be able to either lead someone through it or help inspire someone to go on theirs. And at the end of the day, I mean, I want to just do what I can to help others because a lot of people have helped me, and I'm grateful for that. And it's my turn to pay it back. So pay it forward, pay it back.
Hell yeah. That's the way to do it, man.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to talk about specifically? Or, I'm going to link your Instagram down below. So if you guys want, reach out to Joe if you have any other questions for him.
Yeah, of course. Just leave me a DM and be like, hey, I got a question about whatever. Or, hey, do you know the numbers of the places you stayed at? Yeah, whatever it is. Just, hit me up.
All right, man. Yeah, and give this video like a double thumbs up if you can, because this is the third time that Joe and I have recorded this. And I
Yeah,
want
third time's well, truth be told, the 2 first times were interrupted by audio from the crash pad because right now, full disclosure, I am not in a crash pad. I'm actually in my parents' house. So yeah,
yeah,
got a
thank
little
God.
piece
Yeah,
of
dude, I was
quiet.
like sitting there editing the video. I was like, I just couldn't I was listening to it. I was like, I can't post this. Like,
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. And
it wasn't your fault.
yeah,
The crash.
well, it is what it is, man. That's my life.
Yeah. All right, well, everyone, it is 1:15 a.m. in the morning. So, again, Joe, thank you for doing this for me. Appreciate it. And
No problem, man. I got you.
if you have any more questions, reach out to Joe, reach out to me. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, brother. Take
All
care.
right, man.
Enjoy your
You
night.
too.
Safe travels to
Night,
back to
man.
the crash tomorrow.
I look forward to it, but the Super Bowl more importantly.
Oh, let's go Patriots. You're
Uh,
rooting for the Rams.
I don't have a dog in this fight, but if I did, I don't want to be the Patriots. Just say.
It's coming from a New Yorker.
Hey, it happens.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right, man. Be good.